Wait, this is another browser and it has tons of tabs too. So that means how many instances of your browser are you running?
Yes, too.
Okay. Now, how much RAM do you have anyway? 16? 16 gigabytes? Other thing that can help performance is no screen, by the way. There's the F11. Yep. Seems to be vertical.
It was probably because of the stream.
I see. It knows enemies. These are sensei enemies which are lagging your laptop out. They have an OE yesterday. Their attack is a mini version of the boss's attack.
What version will I get?
You'll see if you can reach the boss.
You have to feel a lot faster.
still some slowed down, but it seems to be running a lot better.
Opening power options.
Yeah, definitely digging. That's it.
Oh yeah, the sensei stopped spawning at 600 seconds. So yeah, I think that was the last of them.
Why there are blue crystals now? Do they still have to the XP or is it something else?
the boss of that 12 minutes. Oh, yes, right? Oh, yes. The boss. Here he comes. You'll probably level up multiple times once you beat the boss. It gives like 1,500 experience.
Boss or is there another one?
Oh, there's another one at 20 minutes. There you go. around 15 minutes and you won't need to be picking up those crystals anymore, because there's an enemy that gives 500 experience every time you kill it. Around 16 minutes in.
I'll just wait for it to appear.
So yeah, once those enemies come in, all you have to do is keep pulling them and it'll give you 500 experience every time. I'd recommend Ice to be doing around 20 to 25 damage once you reach the boss. It depends on you. You can also level up lightning or fire. Those would work too. Even arcade would work. Personally, I like ice because it fires super fast. Oh yeah, the guys who shoot will run away from you. Because they can shoot, so they don't need to be near you.
You can always say to them,
Those guys with the blue eyes. They'll keep running
come
every
here.
time you approach them.
Where are you going? I want to kill you. Get back here. Got a cave, which I'm not eating just yet.
Oh,
Why do you take now when I can eat later?
we'll probably want to save those for when the enemies from
Exactly.
they're gonna keep moving there a bit faster than. So you'll need to hit them with ice as soon as possible. I think their HP though, they're a lot easier to kill now. Since the last time you played this. Your HP went from 500 to just 300 in this version. But the final boss has 9,999 HP. Your damage is kinda low. I'd say get one of your weapons to a level 9 or level 10.
I don't know why I have to. The attack is always slow. That's why it's so slow.
Oh, that's right. You'll get
I don't have an attack
some
that can finish
experience
them
points
all quick.
from those bears anyway. You'll get a lot of experience points from those bears. The Pedro bear.
Where is it? I don't see it.
In 16 minutes in. So, one more minute. This music signals the final half of the game. Final 20% of the game. Warning, here they come. Remember the strategy from last time. Just focus on those enemies when they come. Don't find the other ones. Here they come. Watch out.
That's it.
Here. But don't mind the other enemies. Nice. Now you can level up your other weapon. It looks like you're following my build. And you beat. And you beat Elle-C. Coming soon. Just remember, when you hear the boss music, just keep running. And don't stop running and be near the cakes.
Tell me something I don't know.
The cakes are down there by the beach, so
Okay,
it's all good.
that counts.
Right now, you can kill these enemies and maybe they'll drop some good. You are woke. Oh no. Ronnie is leftist. SJW. Hey Ronnie. Aris is about to beat this game. He is almost there.
Oh, the gen's not red?
Oh,
Oh, that's a bad.
that's your fire, by the way. There's a bullet cap there. They absorb your bullet. So that's why it's a good idea not to go near those. Okay, then that guy will just chase you even if you run away. Eh, But you get around 18 and down here in the beach where those sticks are. You're gonna want to be near them. You can run to them as you need to recover HP from the ocean. It's okay. Okay. I see you're going for all ice like I did. Ice and like, okay, I like it has the super high attack damage. It's kind of slow though. Ice and like, yeah, good combo run. If you want actual synergy in the code though, it's Ice and Arcade. Ice gets 1.2 times more damage from Arcade Mark enemies. Arcade gets 1.5 times damage from frozen enemies. Oh, you better find those two. Find where they are, or boss gonna jump on you till you're dead. Oh, there they are. You good. Bullet dampener. Hello, Christopher Barrett. Gotta hit the center of the boss. I mean, of those star bears, by the way, or else your bullets will pass through them. Gotta hit the face.
You wouldn't happen to hit a bear with glasses, would you? Oh, for sure, rather.
Oh, 41 damage. Wow. Pretty high, but I think that's mostly critical. Yeah, your base damage is probably 27 for ice. Which I guess is good enough.
I'm gonna have to get the job done.
Question is it good enough to defeat Elle-C? You better start running near those stakes when the time reaches near 20 minutes. It's 1932, you have around less than 30 seconds. Nineteen 20 seconds till boss time. There's no need to collect those gems, by the way. You get like 500 experience from
Three on the
killing
way.
the
There's
bears,
the
so
target.
yeah. You get 500 experience. Those you get 1 experience for each gem. So yeah,
Tell me something I
you
don't
do
know.
the math.
I killed him pretty fast.
Oh,
What's the harm?
boss. Well, boss is coming and you're very far from the cakes. You sure you can do this?
What's
You
the word
better
of
run
that?
near the ocean.
I have to go down?
Yeah, go down near the ocean where the cakes are or you're gonna die. I tell you, you're gonna need the healing. Now, run, just keep running. Just keep running, don't stop. Okay, aim where the boss is, aim where the boss is going. Yeah, just aim where the boss is gonna land. Don't stop now.
Why, Nagi?
That's
Why?
why, that's why I said don't stop. Don't stop, Aris, just keep running away from him. He's gonna
I am
chase you
running.
anyway. Here's the cake. Find those cakes or you are so dead. Hey, you found a strategy. But you still better find those cakes or you're so dead. She's gonna do a double jump once, she's low HP. You can actually take the damage from those things. It's only 10 damage each. But you can't take the damage from Elle-C. It's 20 damage.
That's not Nagi?
No, that's the TPL. That's me. Me, ice. They're
Why are you
red
my
and blue.
enemy? Why?
That's a bad idea. See, he can slash you up close. Take the damage. It's okay. Don't run back. Take the damage from those things. It's okay, you can survive it. Just take the damage, Aris, or else me. Dead. Don't just take the damage from the flying.
So you don't have.
One try. strategy though. But yeah, what I usually do is I leave a lot so that so I come back to them and I can fight her there and keep healing myself. I ran a little some a lot faster than Nobeta, by the way. A matter of calculation. LCX does 20 damage per hit. The cakes will recover you around 40 HP. So yeah, while doing a region. So it's a gradual recovery over time of 40 HP. So yeah, you do the math. LCX hits you twice. This much HP has to recover from the cake. You get near to the L. Then cash in them. So the actual strategy is to keep running. Especially when she's low HP, she'll jump twice instead of once. That's what we call a Dark Souls low HP phase. So bosses in Dark Souls become stronger when they're low HP. That's what she does. You'll also spam the wave attack a lot faster. Okay, run.
Good damage.
Going for a fire build. Not a bad idea.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is good for the first ones.
it's actually good for the boss too. It gets pretty high. Remember, all weapons can get up to level 20. Now look at the weapon growth of fire. Actually grows like a
But like that
2
doesn't seem to matter when I'm playing it.
and it goes like
I just need
2
the fire
points
to
for
deal with the
every level.
lower enemies. Right here I'm killing a bunch of them at once.
Yep. If all the fireballs hit, they also do multiple damage at once. All of them hit like one target super close. The easiest way to kill those guys is to get behind them. They can't fire backwards if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, but I'm for this right now. I have to get to the left side.
The initial plan was to allow them to fire in all directions like Elle-C does, but it's a bit too unfair if I did that. God.
Going
will also burn enemies, by the way. As soon as you hit them, it does a tiny bit of damage over time as they're burning, which is not shown. But you'll see some enemies die,
Burning.
well, yeah, from burn damage. Every time an enemy is hit by fire, it does burn damage over time. Basically, their HP goes down like 1 HP at a time. So, what game do you want to play today, Ronnie? You want to do a Snows game? the arrival of the shadows, as well as the shooter. Looks like you have stored a lot of heat here, which will be helpful. Link to his name. Okay, I'll give you it. Hey, Susan Rock, welcome. There you go. Ah, that's a lot of things you have there. That's a good strategy.
What strategy? I'm just killing
Well,
things.
when the strategy is when you fight the boss, you lead her near here. So every time you take damage, you can pick up one of these.
I'm
And
just
then
having a hard time grabbing crystal ones because I cannot use a controller. But for all another controller might work bad.
it's very easy to lead her here too, because she'll always jump straight at you. She'll always follow you wherever you're going. So you don't even need to go back or, you know, try to fight her. She'll always jump right on top of you.
You know, but like, yeah, but it's
So I just had a fun experience. Well, not a fun experience. A bonding experience about scanning photos.
Uh-huh. Hey,
So
Ronnie.
hey, what's up, Elle? What's up, Aris? Good game so far, Aris. Go get that mutant fetus. It looks like a mutant fetus. What is that, Elle?
Oh, the enemies, it's a reference to, Blue Archive.
Ah, okay. Blue.
It's
So anyway,
basically a rough sketch. It's a rough sketch of Sensei from
Sensei.
Blue Archive. Sensei. Yeah.
Sensei, like literal sensei, like the guy in charge,
Yes.
the master.
Yes.
He looks like the youngest person.
So,
Looks like
basically a character sketched exactly in a very childish manner.
But he's a big baby. When people get mad at him, they're like, "You're a big baby." He's like, "I know." I'm sorry, I just can't help it. But yeah, my dad had his old picture of my mom and him. It was a cute picture. They're just sitting on the couch in the 1970s or 80s or something like that. And he misplaced it inside a Nixon book. He found it, but he put it in a book as a bookmark, and he forgot he put it there because he was tired. So he finds it. Okay, cool. So he scans it. So like, so what format you scan it as? What format do you think my dad? What format should he scan it in, and what format did he scan it in?
Yeah, and
Or what? Guess, like honestly, what if you had to guess? What format would you say he should scan it in? What format do you think he scanned it in? It's okay if you don't know the second answer, but what format?
probably a PNG, and he probably scanned it in JPEG.
Okay, very good. So PNG is actually the correct answer in my opinion. In my opinion, at least. So I say that because the PNG is not gonna compress, right? I mean, you can tell JPEG not to compress, but generally JPEG has some compression. Whereas PNG, I actually don't know if JPEG has no compression, but I
Well,
believe
JPEG always has some artifacts.
yes. Now you could tell Photoshop to save the JPEG as like quality 100, and that would probably eliminate artifacts. I'm honestly not sure if it truly does, but
I don't think so. I think there'd still be it's not lossless, so I'm pretty sure
yeah,
there'd be some
you're right. Because I mean, like
loss
might be-
of quality.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be imperceptible, but you're right. Technically, it could flatten some colors. It could like introduce artifacts, whether you can see them or not. But you know, like I agree that it is not my go-to for archival photo storage. Like if you're digitizing a photograph, the purpose, in my opinion, is to get it off of paper so that in case the paper gets damaged, in case it gets lost, you know, whatever the case is, like you have a high quality digital replica that can be reproduced and look the same as the original. So PNG is basically kind of like what I recommended my dad, but I have my own personal choice. So if I was scanning it, and when I do scan it myself, I'm going to scan it as a TIFF because I think absolutely lossless, and I don't know how to scan to a RAW file, so I figure a TIFF would be good enough. But I might have something to learn. So then the other thing was, my dad scanned it as, what did my dad scan it as? I'll tell you the answer. He did scan it as, did he scan it as a PNG? No, he scanned it as a PDF. And I get it, like, it's like a format he's accustomed to, but like PDF might actually put it inside the file as a JPEG. Like it might literally encode it as a JPEG. Now, I believe there are settings if you save a PDF with the right version of Acrobat. You can tell it, you know, use zip compression instead of lossy compression. But like, basically, I gotta give him a crash course. That's why I was a little bit delayed just now because I was giving my dad a crash course. Like, he found a cropping tool, which is good. I said that is the correct way to do it, but even I don't know how to use the cropping tool in Photoshop because like what I do in Photoshop is I'll draw the bounding box with the marquee tool around the frame of the picture, so around, you know, the margin or whatever part of the paper got scanned, and then I'll do Control C, and then in Photoshop, if you do Control C with the marquee tool and you press Control N, the new document new document resolution will automatically match whatever you copied. So if it's like, let's just say it's I don't know, 1160 by 40.
If you have anything on the clipboard, if you have any image data on the clipboard when you make like a new file, it's always going to be the same resolution as whatever image data you have there.
Precisely, exactly, Al. And so, you know, it makes it easy. You don't have to type in numbers. You just need to draw the box and press Control C and Control N. You get your bounding box. You give it a name if you want. It uses the same. The DPI is carried over, and then you Control V it into that bounding area, and you can pretty much go straight to saving it. At which point, you can either save it as a Photoshop document, a .tiff file, or something else. So me personally, what I would do is, and maybe this is like overkill, I would save it as a TIFF, and that would become my archival copy. That would be the one that goes in like my main photo collection on my server or somewhere, and that's the one that gets backed up like periodically onto like a removable pair of hard drives. But the server itself has like double fault tolerance. It has singular fault tolerance, meaning that a single drive can fail in any pair of hard drives and the data will all still be there, and as long as I replace the broken hard drive, no data loss would be risked. So yeah, that's what I would do. And then if I wanted to send it to someone, then I would send it as a PNG. So I would open up the TIFF in Photoshop, save for web, and that'd be my web copy. So I had to put it on a website or a blog or something. I would use the PNG, and of course, save for web will let you scale it down as much as you want, or as much as you're willing to. And that's the way decisions get a little tricky, because if you're sending it to someone, are you sending it to them to print, or are you sending it to them to show them, you know, and if you want it to load quickly, you might say, you know what, I'll send them a lower resolution version of it because they're not going to print it anyway. But that could be a tough call because, you know, like, I don't know, it's not really that tough call. You know, most people don't archive their shit, so maybe it's better if people are sending high-res copies all over the place so that there's backups wherever they send it. But I don't know, I'll rescan it later on, and what I want to do is I want to take my dad's new brother scanner. It's not that new, it's like a decade old now, but it's new, and it's newer to my scanner. My scanner is like 25 years, 30 years old, but it's a good scanner.
Yep.
Like, it's right next to my, where is it? My scanner? Oh, I know, I moved my scanner.
You still have the drivers for it?
Oh yeah, they work. And it's funny because I think these are the Windows 2000 or Windows 98 drivers. They work fine on Windows Windows 10.
Nice.
Microtech Scan Maker 4800. So it has a maximum native resolution of 4800 DPI. So I need to see what my dad's scanner can do. And then it can do an interpolated DPI of up to 9600 DPI, but that's sort of a fiction. Like, there's no point in scanning at 9600 DPI. It's getting extra resolution. I don't think it can actually truly capture it. But it lets you scan at 9600 DPI, but 4800 DPI is the true DPI. So I would still scan it probably at 300 or 600 DPI, but my dad scanned it at 300 DPI, which I think is fine. What I was disappointed in him was he's been using his longer than I've been using him, right? And his answer to why he chose PDF was because it's the option that it gave him. I'm like, but you get to choose the option. Like, I get that you must have ran went through the app and ran it through the easy flow or whatever. But it's like you look like it's like I get that it was the default setting like it gave him, but it's like he probably set the PDF at some point in the past and forgot. But it's like that's like me turning on a computer going, oh, it didn't give me the app that it didn't show me the app I wanted, so I didn't use it. Like, I don't know. It's I don't even really have an analogy, but it's like the whole point of doing this stuff on a computer is you get control over it, you know.
Well, some people just want convenience. So yeah, whatever works first. Yeah, I'll use that. Whatever is the default setting.
Well, like, now I gotta go through the default settings and see if I can, like, go through the default settings and either change them or show him how to pick something else. And there's two ways. His scanner, I know there's an app of some kind on the computer that lets you do the scanning, so presumably you can pick the format there. Or the one touch button or two touch button, it's got a little touch screen on the front of the machine. You can definitely pick it there, but to scan from the front panel on the scanner, you actually have to configure it. You got to tell the software on the computer where to take the stuff it receives. So when you tell it to scan on the front panel of the scanner, it sends, the picture over the network to the PC and then saves it to whatever folder. And I've done it a couple of different ways. At one point, I think I configured his scanner to send it to my server via FTP. So a while back, I was scanning pictures and it was just FTPing the picture straight to the folder or sending it to Samba, file and print sharing or whatever they call it. But anyway, so I'll hook it up for him later on. I'll show him. And then he asked me for Adobe Acrobat DC. I'm like, okay, that's not a Photoshop tool, man. Like, so I got to show you how to use Photoshop, I guess. It's like, but admittedly, it is a little unwieldy. Like, I used to use something called Lightroom, and Lightroom was interesting because, like, it would keep a catalog of all the pictures that you got on a digital camera, let's say, like the RAW format. And what made Lightroom really cool was that when you have a RAW file, you have a lot of extra data in there that you might not even see. So when you adjust the contrast, you can see details that might otherwise be invisible. And what makes Lightroom cool is that you can change the white balance. So if you scan a black and white picture, it's kind of brown, and it's supposed to be gray. You can, like, adjust the gray scale. It's a little weird because I always get confused about that too, because when you scan a black and white picture, there's gonna be a little bit of brown to it, but it's black and white. So my thing is, like, do I scan it in color or black and white? I scan it as color so that I got more data in there and I can, always flatten it to black and white later when I resave it. But, it's like, I treat these tips as like the raw archival copy. Like, it's gotta have every bit of data in there and some more data in there. And then so what Lightroom does is it lets you, like, change the pictures, parameters like the white balance or the contrast, but it keeps the original one intact. So when you're in Lightroom, you get to see the picture with the changes you apply to it, but you can click a button and see what it looks like without any changes applied to it. So you can always go back to the original one. So it never changes. It never does. It's not like if you open up a PNG and you change some, contrast or something like that, you've just destructively altered the image, meaning that you can never go back. Like, you can, like, change the contrast or the white balance back to whatever it looks like the way it was before, but you're always going to lose data because you're permanently changing the image. When you use Lightroom, you're not doing that. Now, the problem is Lightroom is an Adobe software, and nobody wants to pay for Adobe software. So, yeah, you can get a bootleg, but there comes a point you got to decide, is there a free alternative? And there is, and I need to explore that free alternative. I haven't really done that yet, but what I would like to do is have, like, a picture catalog that's on the network so that it's centralized or something, so that, like, I don't know, we can see the same picture catalog from both our computers with the same database. That's what it stores a database with any changes you make to the picture. So that's everyone in the chat. That's your crash course on archival photo storage and restoration. Any questions? No?
Like I don't ever plan to do any of that stuff, so you know.
You don't ever
I do understand
understand.
what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I know you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I get it. I'm like a data hoarder, so I always think about ways to
Like, I don't even have the resources to do that sort of stuff, so I'm not doing anything in archival or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it needs some storage.
That's interesting. Did the sub-boss not fire off, Paris? Did you fight the sub-boss?
It's in the sub-boss, and it's 13 minutes.
Yeah, I think the sub-boss did not fire off. Did you like start the game without refreshing it?
I didn't refresh.
Yeah. Did you refresh the page before you started or not?
No.
Yeah, it might be a bug. Okay, it might be a bug.
It's as very much as it is the game, but I like it.
I think it's an actual bug, as in it doesn't everything. When you start a new game without refreshing it.
That might be the bug.
I'm not sure if the main boss will even spawn in.
Maybe she doesn't appear with Beretta. No.
No,
Or just a certain amount of time.
I'm pretty sure Nobeta and Beretta doesn't matter who you choose. They use the same data set, but Beretta gets like bonus experience point.
Hey, by the way, Elle, what's up with the van when Nobeta, what's up with the van? Is that like Nobeta getting kidnapped? Like, what is that?
Yes. Yes.
That is what Karumi says he's gonna do.
There's also a reference to a dojin made by the actual developers of BeachNobeta. Yeah, they actually made a dojin, like several of Nobeta herself.
Ah, I see.
The story is we went to the beach one day after lunch, and then all of a sudden the white van pulls up behind her and somebody grabs her from behind and drags her there. And stuff happens. Yep, made by the actual developers of BeachNobeta too.
Oh, I finally modded my 3DS again. So it was really simple. All I had to do is download a zip file and copy it to the SD card, and then boot up my 3DS and like run some stuff, and it like copy the files to a folder.
Like I just use an R4 card. So,
oh, that thing, those are great. I have one of those too. And it was funny. I discovered there's an issue with some of the R4 cards. They just disable themselves. So you have to buy another one. I was like, what?
Oh, it's after just the date and time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like so bizarre. And you're right. That's what that was the answer, actually. It's like, why would they do that? I mean, I know why they did it, but it's still funny. But the R4 card was nice. I used that when my mod broke. I did use an R4 card for a little while, but the mod just does so much more on a 3DS. At least the one I have set up.
Can we kill the sub boss?
You got this, Ours. Is Ours playing the Logan version? Oh my god. I'm afraid to play anything but the Logan version now. Nah, the Logan version was easy. It was easy. I mean, it
I
wasn't
think I discovered that bug actually, because the sub-boss did not trigger earlier,
Oh.
because he didn't refresh the, so he did a run, and he got a game over, he didn't refresh.
Like, I would think you don't need to refresh it, but I would refresh it. But at the same time, I can understand why Aris didn't refresh it, because like it wouldn't come across, you know, a sane person's mind. I would think like, why would I need to refresh it? The game should know it's back at the beginning.
Yeah, I know. So I have failed to reset some of the flags here, which is why it's behaving like that. So the main thing here is that 20 minutes the boss will not spawn in, so the game ends.
Will Super Yandia L, will Yandia L load it?
Yeah, that's what that's what I want to see happen here. I want to see if it still loads in here. So
Yeah, so that's gonna be, that'll determine whether or not.
This is good bug testing.
Yep. That's true. That's like proper. It is good bug testing because like that's literally like I remember my friend like he took his first comp sci class and he had to write something like a number generator or some crap, and like the first thing the teacher did was they typed a letter into the field for the numbers and it crashed the app. And that was part of like learning how to code. It was like, yes, you have to anticipate when someone's going to do something. Like, yes, you're not supposed to put a letter in the number field, but users are going to do that. So a good program, a better code base would, of course, be able to identify, oh, hey, this is a letter. This doesn't belong here, so I'm not going to try to process this. Or it won't even let you type in a letter. And then that was basically the fix. But like obviously, like you know, it's like a teacher broke it on purpose, but it's important to catch that thing. So just like Aris not hitting refresh, that's helpful because now you can see what it does.
Yep. I mean, so far the game is behaving the same as usual, except for some boss not triggering. So maybe I forgot to reset the flag, right? To change the reset function.
I gotta send a message to Orc because my friend Mike invited me to discuss the spatial challenger on a Wednesday, and I don't know if I can make it for Space Deep.
And I also wonder if the players will come in at 16 minutes or not. They should, because they're time gated. But basically, spawn boss timer and I think it's something about the timer. Basically, spawn boss timer and what was it? The spawn sub boss timer use the same logic. So I'm thinking maybe LCX will not spawn in, causing an infinite loop.
Well, guys, I might as well quit.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Once I don't level fast enough to really find out.
There's one of the tests. Let's see. 16 minutes in, the bears should be coming in. And they should, there it is. They're normal enemies, actually. They want to clear the screen one time, too. So that you can move freely. By the way, ice actually reaches all the way. Like, it never actually dies. So, you can hit enemies from a very long range with it. Like, even if the enemy is, like, super far away, it's still gonna hit.
What if it's getting out of them? Does it go through like a piercing shot?
No. No, it doesn't go through.
Damn.
But, even if they're super far away, they can still get hit by ice. Because, it never stops until it hits something.
I guess it means I already took care of the sub-boss without realizing. Because why else will these guys appear? You just never saw him.
Yeah, so my friend Mike invited me for Wednesday to discuss STS-51L, the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster, and it's like I just messaged Orc to see, if like I don't want to cancel, but I don't know. I see if I can come to the stream late, but I told him, it's good to plan around me not being there just in case, but I definitely want to show up, being realistic. I know somebody's like, a thing goes over on a different stream, but Challenger is definitely something I'm equipped to discuss. And then if I make it the Orc stream a little late, I can also show the diagrams. Jumping in diagrams, is like, it's an interesting topic. Like, how did the Space Shuttle, do you remember Space Shuttle Challenger?
Yeah, is that the one that blew up?
Yeah, that's the one that blew up. And basically it's because I decided, and I forgot to show it because I had some cool video. I didn't have any videos, but I know of some videos I could have shown on my last show when I was talking about the Space Shuttle, which is a funny coincidence. I don't know, I guess Challenger's anniversary is coming up, but I think Snow mentioned she went to Kennedy Space Center when she was a kid, and her mom was like, no, we can't buy you that $12 Lego Space Shuttle. So her uncle bought it for her, and then her mom spent $40 on space food and ate like the fake space food. It's like, it's not, they don't make real space food. Like they sell the ice cream sandwiches. Those things are hilarious. They would never eat an ice cream they would never eat a freeze-dried ice cream sandwich in space. That would just create crumbs. That's like the opposite of what you need in space. But they call that space food and they sell it to you.
They ate like from tubes, like toothpaste.
They did, and I showed pictures of the beef, like that. I remember like during the earlier missions, the Gemini missions, they ate beef out of a tube. It was like a low residue beef paste. So the residue is like low residue, meaning that it shouldn't come out. I guess the idea is that when you eat it, the minimum amount of material comes out as waste. And it's like, it tastes like beef, but you squeeze it out of a tube, and it was like literally a toothpaste tube. And in later versions of space food, like I was playing a clip, and it showed a Japanese astronaut on the ISS. And as you know, Japan is not only our best ally in the Pacific, they have the coolest module on the ISS. I'm not even kidding. The Japanese section of the International Space Station is the coolest section. And I say this because it is.
China?
No, China doesn't have a section on the ISS. China has their own space station. China's station is newer and superior to ours, Elle, because they don't have any wires on the wall. It's so clean on the inside, and that's obviously because China is killing it with the technology, and that's why there's no wires on the wall. It's got nothing to do with them having a brand new station. It has nothing to do with China having no experiments on there yet. But no, jokes aside, China's station is nice. It has a couple of advancements on it. Like, they use, I think, gallium, instead of silicon, they use gallium in their solar cells, and that's supposed to be, like, better, like, more efficient or less resistant, so you get more energy per square foot of solar panel. So they've implemented a couple of cool things on their station. The modular design is interesting, too, because every time they launch the modules, they kind of dock them together, which is pretty standard in building a space station, but they had a pretty good roadmap on what to attach to what and how to build it. But other than that, it's typical China propaganda. Like, I remember like a couple months ago, they cooked some chicken wings in space. And they made it like, well, these are the first times we cook chicken wings in space. And it's like, well, no, we baked cookies on the ISS using a space oven. So, normally you would have some hot water and you would just put hot water into a pouch. So a lot of space food comes in pouches instead of like tubes of toothpaste. They're like clear pouches, almost like an IV bag. And you fill it up with hot water. And then you can like, squeeze it out and it tastes like food except it's liquefied. So, you're not making a mess. On the Chinese, on our space station though, we did install an oven at some point, and it was a very specialized oven. But the idea was that you can bake cookies, and they did that. So on the Chinese space station, the Tiangong space station, they did some chicken wings. And when you see the video, you'll see like they have a metal grill or tray, and they didn't even have a cover on it. Like they just put the chicken wings on there, and they're kind of floating off the tray, and they just put it in the oven and close the door, and they're like, all right, YOLO. And they came out good, the chicken wings. I mean, they do look good. I'll give them that. That's an innovation, having chicken wings in space. But it's like, you could argue, do you even want to bring bones into space? Like, maybe you should have boneless wings. I mean, every pound counts. And when you send something up to space...
I mean, you know what? They also have those self-heating meals, not in space, that they just sell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like that, like the MRE rations, meals ready to eat.
Oh, it doesn't have those flameless ration heaters, though. I'm not sure what they use, but basically it's like cup noodles, but it's an entire meal. And when you open it, it just cooks itself.
Yeah, it sounds similar to this flameless. I don't know if it's the same, but it reminds me of the flameless ration heaters. And I remember I bought some MREs when Joe Biden got elected into office, just in case, the world ended. I figured it'd be good to have some MREs, and I took some to work and ate them for lunch. And then I got sick of it. One time I had MRE for lunch because I was starving at home, and I had the sausage patty, and the grease on that shit fucked my stomach up. Like I sat here, I felt like I had like the itis. Like I felt all sluggish. Like, you eat something greasy and just like it's in your stomach and don't feel right. Yeah, it felt like that. But basically, the flameless ration heater, in that case, you got like a bag of water. You got this pouch that looks like a hand warmer, and you stick the hand warmer into the water. It starts to boil. It starts to create a chemical reaction. And the idea is that you'll have your food in the same pouch next to the bag of water or something like that. And then the heat will, transfer into the pouch of food. And then you can eat the food straight out of the pouch with the spoon that's included in the same MRE kit.
You also use the hot water for coffee later.
Exactly. You can make the coffee at the same time. You could do all of that at the same time. You have one big bag, and then you have a smaller bag, and they include a Ziploc bag for the coffee, which is impossible to drink out of, but that's what they provide, and Army guys have videos about how that goes for them and what they do to solve that. But generally with MRE, especially in the cold, you're basically eating lukewarm water. It's not really warm water. So if you have access to like a stove or some other way to heat water to like a higher temperature, it's always going to do better than the flameless ration heater unless you have the most perfect conditions and stuff. And I think some countries have MREs that are properly insulated so that they do heat up better. But that is a challenge.
There's also some mini stoves, there's like a small canister with some solid fuel and...
Yep. Oh, yeah, solid fuel. I was thinking about the butane, but you're right. They do have the solid fuel ones, almost like having a little candle or something, yeah. And,
You get actual fire there.
Yep, that's true. And then, they always have these little butane stoves, like Amaro used one once in the episode when he got PTSD and he ran away from the white base into the desert and had a drink with Rambo Val and the Hamon Khan. I think I forgot her name. Hamon. Miss Hamon. Lady Hamon. I always mix up Hamon and Hamon. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, he had one of those camp stoves. And I bought one before going camping once. And I don't know. I always want to impersonate Amaro sitting in the desert. I never got around to it. But I did make coffee with it and it came out good. I made coffee and hot water because I had these, last time I went camping with my friend William and his kids. I bought these camp meals. They were like, he handled the car and all of that shit. I handled the food basically, and it worked out really well. Like, we had a great time. We went to the Indian Cliffs. Yes, they're called the Indian Cliffs, not the Native American Cliffs. American Indians are a term. The difference is if you are woke and you want to insist on calling them something other than Indian, then maybe you'll learn what tribe it was. In this case, I believe it was either the Winnebago or the Aquahonguin tribe. Yes, I believe it's Aquahonguin. Yeah, we were near the Aquahonguin trail. Now I remember. Hmm. That's a New York State Native American group.
No, says it's a charcoal reaction. I guess from the flameless ration heater.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I used interesting. Yeah. And like I heard a thing. So my coworker years ago I had a coworker, and he said he wanted to get his hands on the Japanese MREs from World War II. He said he saw a video of a Japanese guy making miso soup, and that the powder mix was heating up the food. Which I feel like the video just didn't show him what they were using. Like I bet it was just a flameless ration heater. But from what he saw in the video at the time, he thought that the food was literally like heating itself up from inside the broth itself, like an edible chemical, like an edible flameless ration heater.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing. It sounds cool.
I mean, I doubt it. From World War II?
Yeah, maybe that's a good question now, because like I said World War II, but now that I'm thinking about it, for all I know, he could have saw a video of JMSDF or JGSDF, Japanese ground
Yeah,
self
those guys haven't really seen any action.
Yeah, well, but they've been leveling up hard, yo, like since the 90s especially. But it's true, for a while. So this is where Japan saw action after World War II. During the Korean War, they were mostly relegated to being cooks and chefs and cleaning personnel and stuff like that. But nobody wanted to send Japanese troops to Korea after they just occupied Korea. That would just be kind of weird, right? So they definitely did not fight on the ground in the Korean War, which is understandable. But and also, I don't think they're really supposed to at the time. Like that at the time, the way they interpreted their constitutional Article 13, whatever it's called, they weren't going to be sending them like on the offensive. That didn't happen until like the 90s. Because in the 90s and 2000s, they started participating in peacekeeping, and like for example, we had them in Afghanistan. Like they weren't necessarily in an offensive role; they were more in a support role, but they were active. They were a more active participant in those situations. But in particular, during the Korean War, what Japan did in terms of combat, they assisted in mine-sweeping duties, and some Japanese sailors did die while conducting mine-sweeping operations. So, I mean, and the thing is that Japan, because like they are a self-defense force, one of the things that they could easily justify was anti-submarine warfare. And considering during the Cold War, I mean, submarines are rapidly advancing, or at least definitely any kind of stealth that can fire a nuclear missile or anything like that is technology that, of course, the Soviet Union was working on. So Japan worked on anti-submarine warfare, and they got really good at it. And like now, like nuclear submarines tend to be like the ones that you hear about. But diesel submarines still exist, of course. And back in the day, a diesel submarine, like if you're going back to World War II, you would literally have to be on the surface running a diesel engine, and they would usually have 2 or 4 diesel engines, depending on what class of submarine. But you can use the diesel engines to directly run the propeller in some cases. But with the majority of the modern, the World War II American subs, the Gato and Balao class, you would run the engines to run a generator, and then that electricity from the generator would get sent to motors to run the propeller. Or you could do both. You could charge batteries and run the propellers at the same time. So the idea is like now when you go underwater, you can't run the engines anymore. So when you're underwater, you can only run on battery power. So the idea is that you're on the surface the majority of the time. You're on the surface at night time. And the only time you dive is when you see an enemy. Or during the daytime, if you're in a hot zone where just a matter of time before you bump into someone. Cool. Oh, she does come in. Okay. But basically, that's what they did. They would wow. But anyway, so these are subs. Oh, you got it. Yeah. So the strategy from before worked, by the way. Just before I get back on topic. Yeah, the strategy before worked, where Forrest is running along the beach.
Don't mind the other enemies because only LCX does the most amount of damage. Other enemies hit you.
If Oris leaves a trail of cake behind him, I know he can't go directly back to the cake, but what I would do is I would make like a right angle. I would go up, run away from Yondir L for a little while, going up, and then make a left. But right now, just run.
This is why it's a bad idea to come back. Like, ignore all the other enemies. Also, she's gonna jump at you. You don't need to go to her. She's just gonna jump
Yeah.
at
She's gonna come. She'll always make it to you, right? You can always
That's
shoot her. She's always
okay.
gonna come back in the range.
you. Yep. You just have
Well,
to
like-
keep running.
But like, even if Aris is going diagonally away from the beach, and then he loops back. Oh, cake! Wait, does that work too? Maybe if he keeps going right, will he eventually loop back on the cake from
Yes,
before?
it will. Yes, it will.
Oh, that's even better. Then yeah, Aris' strategy is perfect. Stay near the beach. The beach is a good idea. But like, apparently it's like keeping Yandia Elle like confined. Like she can't really go anywhere else, which is very like makes her predictable and stuff. That's cool. So anyway, we got the diesel submarines, and then they invented the snorkel. The Germans invented the snorkel, and basically
It's
lets the
time to
submarine
heal. Heal, guys. Heal.
heal. There's a healing function. Oh yeah.
Get your feet. You're good.
Can you assign a different collision box to the cake than the enemies?
No. It's part of the challenge. I probably could, but I don't wanna.
Yeah, and I got you. You can, but you won't. I got you. That's fair. So yeah, anyway, they have the snorkel, so the submarine can stay underwater, and just like deploying a periscope above the surface of the water, they can have a little air vent that sucks in air and blows out the exhaust. So, the thing about nuclear submarines is they're not all quiet. They always need to run pumps, keep cool, and things like that, to run the coolant pump. Some nuclear subs do have the ability to use some kind of convection where they can turn off the pumps and run in low power mode and not make noise. But generally speaking, a diesel submarine on battery power can be made to be more quiet than a nuclear submarine. So Japan's got these
When
diesel
she's low HP, she'll jump twice and she'll immediately attack me. So,
Oh,
you better be
she gets more-
prepared for that. Like,
more aggressive.
I don't spend time just trying to dodge the other enemies.
Yeah. Well, like you said, like they got
Yeah, don't go back.
combination.
Keep going. Don't go back. Yeah, see? It's trying to take those hits. It's not trying to take a hit from her. It's not trying to take a hit from her. I told you it's not trying to take a hit from her.
Yep. You definitely want to take a hit from her, yeah.
The other enemies, it's fine. They can't kill you. They do
Dodging the
10
enemies.
damage.
Like you get, like I always try to squeeze between the gap, like right. I'm glad there's a gap between the row of enemies, you know.
Yeah, just take the hit. It's fine. Don't go back.
Oh, he's gonna make it. He made it.
Where do I do that?
A little bit more. A little bit more.
You got this.
Okay, you got this. You win. There you go. Easy. Look around here.
Congratulations, Ars. Good game.
The problem was the map.
Yeah, those other enemies are just different. But I lost. Like, that's easy. The idea is you get distracted by other enemies. So that you spend time trying to dodge them and then she jumps on top of you. That's what you need to do. So, congratulations. I think you're like the third person I know who has beaten this.
Wonder why. They're rather easy compared to the previous version.
Anyways, did you want to play something today, Ronnie? By the way, I don't see you anymore. Oh, there you are.
Of course I can. I was just writing back to Orc. Apparently he hasn't really used OBS virtual camera, so I was like, yeah, bro, I'll show you how OBS virtual camera works.
Easy.
And